Saint Columba and the Loch Ness Monster. Does the Loch Ness Monster exist? Wait a minute. Is this program about saints or about monsters? You'll find out in a moment. Salve Maria! Our saint for today takes us onto a journey to the charming little island to the west of Scotland called Iona. On this island stood an imposing monastery called the Iona Abbey, probably one of the most iconic symbols of Scottish Christianity. Of course, centuries later, the fury of Henry VIII would reduce this monastery to ruins, but it was later rebuilt. The ruins and the new abbey today speak of the glories of the times past. But still, it's a shadow of what it was. Because this monastery was one of the oldest Christian monasteries in all of Western Europe and is considered, rightly so, to be the birthplace of Christianity in Scotland. The founder of this abbey is Saint Columba, our saint of the day, also called Columkill by the Scots. Our saint, Saint Columba, was Irish. He was formed in the renowned monastery of Clonard under Saint Finian, another famous Scottish saint. He travelled to Iona together with 12 companions, and there they established the Iona Abbey. He was responsible, together with his monks, for the conversion of the terrible Picts of Scotland. I'm sure if you're Scottish, you'll have heard of them. His name, Columkill, means dove of the church, a symbol of the Holy Spirit, who is the soul of the church. Saint Columba was truly an instrument of the divine Holy Spirit. Now, his life is replete with miracles. It's hard to choose from the innumerable miracles that are narrated by his biographer, Saint Adaman. Saint Adaman was the 9th successor of Saint Columba as the abbot of Iona. But still, I'll stick with the most fantastic of the stories from his life. Saint Adaman claims that he calmed down the Loch Ness Monster. Yes, you heard me right. The Loch Ness Monster, the legendary monster. This monster, which is said to have been seen by eyewitnesses down through the centuries, they say that up till today there have been up to 1,000 sightings. Some claim to have captured this monster in photos. Does it really exist? Is it a myth? I for one don't know. What I do know is this historian, Saint Adaman, tells about its existence and swears that it is true. In fact, the first recorded account of the Loch Ness Monster, or Nessie as people call it today, is in Saint Adaman's life of Saint Columba. It was back in the year 565. Saint Columba was preparing to cross the Lake Ness or Loch Ness. When he reached the banks of the lake, he saw a poor man being buried. This man was swimming in the lake and he was mauled to death by the monster that lived in that lake. Saint Columba was not deterred. He asked his companion, a monk of Iona Abbey, to go swimming into the lake and to get him a boat. The monk, obedient like a true Christian monk, without a moment's delay, obeyed the order and jumped into the water. The Loch Ness Monster made his appearance and went straight for his next prey. Our monk was in the middle of the lake. Several people were watching on in terror. And at this moment, Saint Columba raised his hand and, saying a prayer, made the sign of the cross. Then, in the name of Christ, he gave an order to the monster. Go no further and never again touch another man. At the voice of the saint, the monster, whoosh, plunged back into the water in terror. It was just an arm's distance from the monk, who escaped unscathed. Such was the impression caused by this miracle that the stubborn Picts were convinced and began to praise the God of Christians. And this led to the conversion of many of these tribal Picts. Now, here comes the interesting part. This account of St. Adaman tells us that St. Columba prohibited the monster from ever again attacking human beings. Now, we know, or there are thousands of claims of people who have seen the Loch Ness Monster. But have you ever heard of anybody in the recent times attacked by the monster? Well, does the monster exist to begin with? Is this a beast that has been spotted, the same one that was commanded by Saint Columba to leave humans in peace? Well, that's up to you to decide. I'm not going to give my opinion here. But then let me know in the comments what you think about this. Anyway, what we do know is that Saint Columba is one of the 12 famous apostles of Ireland. Ireland is known for having 12 apostles, known by this title, and Saint Columba is one of them. And one of the other ones, one of these other saints, is Saint Brendan the Navigator, who is said to have arrived in Newfoundland in Canada in the 6th century, long before Christopher Columbus discovered America. Lives of saints are fascinating, isn't it? There are so many different facts from our history which have a lot of relation with our Catholic heritage, with our Catholic history, and with the lives of saints. But do we study about them? How much do we realize the importance that these saints have had in shaping the world that we live in? However it may be, this story has a lesson for us. Saint Columba, well, he could have prohibited the monster from attacking human beings before he told his monk to jump into the lake and enfront the monster. He didn't do that. He waited till the monster was an arm's length from the man before he took action. It's curious, but very often God does the same thing in our lives. There are cases when everything seems lost. What does God, what does Our Lady want from us in this moment? They want us to have entire confidence in them. Let's cry to Our Lady, let's cry to our Lord Jesus Christ, the Sacred Heart of Jesus, asking for mercy and confiding in their salvation, because it is exactly when things seem the darkest and the most difficult is the moment when St. Columba and God are going to intervene, when they're going to change history forever. Let's ask St. Columba so that in our days, when there are so many different monsters and sins rampant in our world, that he take action, that he intercede before Our Lady, so that the day when she will intervene and her Immaculate Heart will triumph may come as soon as possible. Salve Maria!
If you like this video, press the like button and leave a comment below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and activate the notification bell so you won't miss any of our videos.